Welcome back, Albertville, Osana say. This is the election breakdown, and I am your host, James Hal Epperson. Last episode, we finished off the last council member was in their race, and we'll now be looking at the mayor and his opponent, Tracy Honey versus Justin Ennis. Now, our current mayor, Tracy Honey, he is in the real estate business. He has been mayor for 12 long years. He is pro-development, pro-economics, and pro-education. He's focused on, capital, wealth, making sure the city is wealthy, prosperous, giving us plenty of money for our school, our amenities, everything. Now, Justin Ennis, he's focused on more specifically wanting to bring more jobs to Albertville, more industrial stuff. He is a populist candidate, mainly focused on the poor poor Aggies, wanting to, showing the wealth gap, make make stuff more affordable in Albertville, and bring more unity to the community. Now, Tracy Honey, during his 12 years, he has increased the town's revenue greatly. Our sales tax has increased by only 1 cent, but that has given 58% more revenue since it's since it's been enacted. And with that money, we have built up the Sandmountain Parks and amphitheater, which also generates more money for the town and, offers us a public place for, recreational activities, culture, all sorts of stuff. Though many complain about the cost and expenses of that facility as, it costs us $15 to go swimming. The gym over there requires a membership, though you are able to walk around there freely, as I and many of my friends like to do often. And, before we didn't have a amphitheater over there, and now we do, which gives us plenty of concerts, which, though you have to pay to enter, you can hear them from just about anywhere in the parks and some of the surrounding neighborhoods for free. And I can testify to this personally, as I live right across the street from over there. Now, Justin Ennis, his complaints on Honey's policies and stuff, is that with all these developments and stuff, it has also brought a lot of debt to the city. $198 million, which will be paid out over time, accounting up to $300 million. Now, that debt may seem scary, but let us not forget how much debt the state and federal government are in, which goes up to the billions and trillions. Now, there is always going to be debt with development. You have to spend money to make money. Though, that debt can be scary, because if we ever have to default on that, there's only so much collateral and reserves we have to spend on that, and that would also shut down the banks temporarily, meaning we wouldn't be able to develop anymore after that. So we have to, develop carefully. Justin Ennis doesn't actually want to stop making projects and industrializing and developing. He just wants to do it more responsibly. Though, from those on the side of Honey, we have done just that, because city revenue has increased, we have plenty of reserves, and we still have $20 million left on our debt ceiling, able to be borrowed at any time by the city. Now, as you probably know, I am not an economist. I haven't even gone to college yet. I'm still in high school on my senior year. What do I really know about the economy? And honestly, probably not much more than you. All I do know is that throughout my life, I have seen Albertville get better and better. More people move in, we've grown, or say, went from being just a little backwater that no one really stopped in off the side of the highway to being a proper city. A small one that's still focused on community, focused on agriculture, heavily forested, with plenty of opportunities for nature and exercise and recreation all around us. Now, further development could possibly hinder some of those aspects, but it could also benefit them. We just have to develop responsibly. Now, old timers and stuff from the city also look back on the past with nostalgia, as everyone does. Though they see the old Albertville that was, well, smaller, poor, more central, or I guess more unified as being better. While many of us in the younger generation see now as being better, as now we are richer, there's more of us, we have more opportunities, and also just this is when we are growing up. We'll look back on this time as nostalgic. And we can't really go back to just being Boaz, because, well, we now have 20,000 people living in the city. Galesville has 8,000, Boaz, like, what, 6,000? We're not going to go back to just being some small rural area unless you, like, kill off half of us. Don't do that, by the way. Now, see. Back when we were smaller and stuff, we were also more homogenous, more like Boaz, Asbury, Galesville. We were more reliant on the or on the state and federal government, and we didn't have much power and control. Now, we do. We have a little more autonomy and independence with our wealth. We have a deeper, richer culture from the immigration and also just little developments and stuff in Albertville, giving us our own identity distinct from everyone else. Our development has also not left behind our brothers now in Galesville and Boaz. As well, as Joe Oakley says, what's good for Albertville is good for Galesville, Boaz, Asbury, everyone around us. As we are not stagnant. The money we make here also goes into our surrounding neighbors. As whenever we buy stuff from over there and they buy stuff from us, we share our wealth. When we develop stuff, infrastructure in Albertville, it's connected to Boaz and Galesville, helping both communities. Sorry. And also with development, before, we used to have a Kmart back in the old days, but that's been gone for a very long time. And since then, the only place to really buy a lot of good cheap stuff was in Walmart. Our local businesses couldn't keep up the cost of demand and were also put out of business by it. But now we're getting a new Target, thanks to Homey. That Target will compete with Walmart, bringing more revenue back to Albertville, away from dumb old Walmart, which a good number of people in the population, both in Galesville, Albertville, and Boaz, are moving away from, as well, it's Walmart. Heck, I was raised up on the principle of Walmart being basically sin. So, yeah. Getting rid of Walmart. Another pro for Honey. Now, Justin Ennis. His main concerns and stuff are, of course, as a populist candidate, on the population. he appeals to more of the old timers and such. Though, like many criticisms that his followers have about Honey and real estate and stuff, they can also apply to Justin, as he is also in real estate, and he's been in many businesses. Now, there have been allegations of bankruptcy for Justin, though those weren't suits. He didn't file for bankruptcy. He was accused, or more so, by some of his companies mishandling and such. I'm of course not an expert on this, and I would have done a little more research, but I couldn't get a hold of any of my legal buddies to further break down this bit. So as far as that, all I can do is recommend you look more into that case. So, sorry. Oh yes, he is a realtor. I believe a real estate agent rather than owning a real estate company himself. And, sorry. Yeah, as I say often, I don't really believe being in real estate is really that much of a conflict of interest as may say against Honey, as being in real estate means you're invested in the land of the community. Your business only does well if the town does well. If more people are moving in, your business does well, because you can raise prices as demand increases. You get more money you can input into the town to value your business. They'll may also see more people moving into Albertville as bad as, well, they question how much infrastructure our city has to accommodate for all these people. Citing cultural aspects as mainly it's been immigrants moving into Albertville with their own cultural ideas. Though at this point, Albertville has been 60% Hispanic about as long as I've been alive. And honestly, that is our culture at this point. We. Apologies for my sinuses. So, yeah. Albertville is an immigrant community. That's just what we are compared to everyone else. Though it also, well, has our own unique ideas. We didn't just adopt other people's culture. Here we have made our own. Aggies, we value strength, we value honesty, living close to the earth and nature. We value togetherness, cooperation, and, well, capitalism. Many people down in the valley and surrounding us, they look down on us because we are more successful than them economically. They see us as more snooty because of our, more proper school system, making us distinct. And our unique culture and identity on Albertville hasn't changed because of immigration. It's changed because, well, of our situation. If anything, the people who've been moving in have changed to fit the culture of this region. And even if the culture does change, that's not really a flaw, as, well, culture naturally changes, and it doesn't really affect us that much. So, that criticism many people have isn't really as big of a deal as it's a mountain and they've made out of a molehill, basically. Apologies. Now, another thing many people point out is, well, lack of infrastructure for the roads. There's not a lot of sidewalks, stuff like that. Which, that is a valid criticism of Mahoney. Now, throughout their years, they have paved 60% of the roads, but that's been over 12 years, many of which are still unpaved. Sidewalks are mainly only in downtown and around the Sandine parks, and they still need to be built up. Now, one thing we could do to help build up sidewalks and stuff is rather than just relying on expensive city-paid infrastructure and stuff, what our town could do is have the city paint the roads, putting in crosswalks and stuff, and then we ourselves, become responsible for the little trail between the road and our yard. See, about 3 to 6 feet of that little bit of your yard for people to walk through. Keep it clean, grass mowed, may put in some boards, walking stones, stuff like that, for people to travel through. May even, the city could let us put up stands and stuff by those roads to encourage more people to walk around, buy things, keep the town pretty, and make some money off of it. Though that's just a suggestion, not a policy from either candidates. And one last criticism, just as is at for Honey, is, how long he has served as mayor. Now, Albertville and most cities don't really have term limits for candidates and stuff. Those are mainly in federal politics. Not saying they're wrong, it's just how we've done things for a long time. Now, 12, 13 years is a very long time. Though, with incumbents and stuff, every time we change candidates and stuff, it kind of upsets stability a good deal. Because when a new candidate comes in, they don't have all the experience of the last candidate. They have to change things to better fit, the new social contracts are. Because the new mayor either has to learn all the stuff of the last mayor, how he did things, and repeat that, or he has to start something new. If he has new, different policies and stuff, he has to both balance the city's, day-to-day needs with that. Now, Mayor Honey, he's been our mayor for 12 years. That's 12 years of us being used to, more development, more growth. Development for the community. And Justin Ennis, he doesn't really have that much experience with politics and leadership as much. So, if he becomes mayor, that's going to be a major shift. Now, on the other hand, giving more credit to the complaint, the longer someone stays in office, the longer they become complacent, and the longer we become used to them. And eventually, they're either going to leave office, get elected out, or they're going to die. Now, when that happens, we have to fill in that vacuum, and it's going to be someone. Now, in the most ideal case, the mayor, city council, they all train up people, take turns being in and out of office, so that way we have plenty of experienced people to pick from. And so then when we need a new mayor or any candidate on the council, we have plenty of people to pick from with good experience, good planning, and that increases long-term stability. Though Though my recommendation would be we get someone from the council, one of the boards, or someone goes in there now, like for instance Miguel Corona, to get up experience for this term, then next term they went for mayor and we elect that person. Or perhaps someone else. Now, Justin Ennis, well, as good of a guy he is, I have many friends who are family and friends of his who all speak very well of him. He's not really a politician. Though honestly, neither is Honey. Now, politicians, that word has kind of been died by the federal elections and stuff with all the darn stuff the Democrats and Republicans get up to. But here in the local politics, especially here in Albertville, we don't bash people. Our people don't really scheme without being instantly exposed. We're all united and connected. Our politicians are 1,000 miles away, they're right next door. Yeah, sorry. Although there has still been, in this election, sadly, a good deal of people getting a little too dramatized and angry with the political situation, as many signs have been stolen from the incumbents, and some of the incumbents have bashed some of the. Oh wait, no, it was some of the signs from the runner-ups that got stolen, and some people from the runner-up party, race, not like party, just the runner-ups have bashed some of their incumbent counterparts. But still, for the most part, in Albertville, our politics stay polite, stay professional, and stay honorable. Now, I have a few suggestions / predictions for the candidates, Mr. Honey and Mr. Justin Ennis. Now, Honey, if he gets re-elected, this will likely be his last term. He will finish up his projects and plans he has had for Albertville, and after this term coming up, he will likely retire or lose the next election to someone like Mr. Miguel Corona or one of the other councilmen, someone like that who is gaining plenty of experience and is ready to take up the mantle. Sorry. He will also likely be remembered as one of Albertville's greatest mayors, as he has turned our town from basically a nothing little town in Albertville you barely put on a map into a major city. Or maybe not major, but just into a good city. And just next. My recommendation, if he is elected, he mainly focuses on the council and being a PR/ref guy. Getting as much experience as possible, at least for the first year. Then working out on more larger projects, continuing a lot of Honey's work, but, possibly watering it down, making it better fit, his constituents. And my, main suggestion would be he don't run for mayor and instead for council or one of the boards. And if he doesn't get elected this term, my recommendation is, since he didn't do any of that running for any of the other candidates, he worked on building up leadership without office and stuff. There's many groups like the Make Albertville Beautiful, the Red Arrow, stuff like that focus on Albertville's community and stuff and issues, which could use more members, leadership, and that would give him plenty of experience, building up the town, talking to people, getting in tune to Albertville's needs on a political and economic sense. Yeah. But hey, that's just my opinions. Y'all can take or leave any advice I give you. Now, thank y'all for this election. if I make another episode, it'll probably be breaking down the pros and cons of each policy and the kind of political situation of Alphaville overall. But that has been it for the election breakdown. Thank y'all for tuning in. I've been your host, James Tyler Epperson. It's been a pleasure. Down to go, he.